Hello everyone. In this video, we will recommend the top 10 best political drama so far from 2010 to 2022. So, let's get started the list. Number 1. The King's Speech. Director, Tom Hooper. Britain's Prince Albert must ascend the throne as King George VI, but he has a speech impediment. Knowing that the country needs her husband to be able to communicate effectively, Elizabeth hires Lionel Logue, an Australian actor and speech therapist, to help him overcome his stammer. An extraordinary friendship develops between the two men, as Logue uses unconventional means to teach the monarch how to speak with confidence. Number 2. The Ides of March. Director, George Clooney. Stephen is an ambitious press officer who works under campaign manager Paul Zara on the campaign of Democratic presidential candidate Gouverneur Morris. Soon, despite his good intentions, Stephen falls prey to backroom politics, insidious manipulation, and is seduced by a young intern. He tries to hold his own, while a journalist, Tom I, and the campaign manager of the other major candidate oppose him. When Stephen then encounters a scandal within his own team, he is completely lost. Number 3. Zero Dark 30. Director, Catherine Bigelow. Recruited by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in 1999 immediately following her high school graduation, Maya, who has been solely working on the Al-Qaeda file, gets her first field assignment in 2003 in Pakistan as an analyst working with an interrogation team. This assignment is more important now than when she was hired, if only because of 9/11 and the knowledge that Al-Qaeda was responsible. Number 4. Argo. Director, Ben Affleck. Based on true events, Argo tells the story of a covert operation to rescue 6 Americans during the Iranian hostage crisis on November 4, 1979. As the Iranian Revolution reaches its height, militants storm the American embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage, but in the midst of the chaos, 6 Americans manage to slip away and take refuge in the home of the Canadian ambassador. Knowing it is only a matter of time before the 6 are discovered, CIA specialist Tony Mendez must come up with a risky plan to get them out of the country safely. Number 5. Miss Sloan. Director, John Madden. Willing to bend the rules for her clients, Elizabeth Sloan remains one of the most sought-after lobbyists in Washington, D.C. When asked to help oppose a bill that imposes regulations on firearms, she instead joins a scrappy boutique firm that represents the backers of the law. Her defiant stance and determination to win now makes her the target of powerful new enemies who threaten her career and the people she cares about. Number 6. The Post. Director, Steven Spielberg. When American military analyst, Daniel Ellsberg, realizes to his disgust the depths of the U.S. government's deceptions about the futility of the Vietnam War, he takes action by copying top-secret documents that would become the Pentagon Papers. Later, Washington Post owner, Kay Graham, is still adjusting to taking over her late husband's business when editor Ben Bradley discovers the New York Times has scooped them with an explosive exposé on those papers. Number 7. Darkest Hour. Director, Joe Wright. Darkest Hour takes a look at the life of Winston Churchill. Within days of becoming Prime Minister of Great Britain, he faces a difficult task: negotiate a peace treaty with Nazi Germany or fight for the ideals and freedom of a nation. When the Germans are busy occupying Western Europe, Churchill, despite resistance from his own party, attempts to change the course of world history. Number 8. Vice. Director, Adam McKay. Governor George W. Bush of Texas picks Dick Cheney, the CEO of Halliburton Company, to be his Republican running mate in the 2000 presidential election. No stranger to politics, Cheney's impressive resume includes stints as White House Chief of Staff, House Minority Whip, and Defense Secretary. When Bush wins by a narrow margin, Cheney begins to use his newfound power to help reshape the country and the world. Number 9. The Trial of the Chicago 7. Director, Aaron Sorkin. 7 people charged over the 1968 Democratic National Convention uprising in Chicago, Illinois. It started as a peaceful demonstration but turned into a televised massacre after police and National Guardsmen used brutal force against the crowd. Over the next 6 months, the organizers face a wild and infamous trial by blatantly biased Judge Julius Hoffman after being charged by President Nixon's Justice Department. This increases the annoyance of radicalizing youth. Number 10. The Contractor Director, Tariq Saleh. After James Harper is involuntarily discharged from the Navy, he signs a contract with a secret paramilitary organization so he can support his family. For his assignment to investigate a bioterrorist threat, Harper travels with his team to Berlin, but then his team is eliminated and he is chased through the German capital. He must fight for his life so he can return home and find out who betrayed him and his team.